It's time for local talk here on Nextdoor Radio, nextdoorradio.com, and the Nextdoor Radio app. And welcome to local talk right here on Nextdoor Radio, nextdoorradio.com, and the Nextdoor Radio app. My name is Trace Knight. This is part of our coverage of the Decision 2022 and the upcoming elections here for the Granville County area. Mr. Frank Sossamon joins me once again by way of our video. If you missed any part of any video that we've ever done on Decision 2022, head over to our website, nextdoorradio.com, under the Program and Recordings tab. Everything that was done is right there. Frank Sossamon, you are candidate for NC House of Representatives. My friend, how are you today?
I'm doing fantastic. It's a beautiful day. The weather's great, and I'm doing well.
I think I wore the wrong clothes on this kind of afternoon. Again, a beautiful 64 degrees, so it's hard to believe. Sunshine, especially with all the rain that we've received last couple weeks. Of course, Frank Sossamon, you were running for District 32 for State House Representative. Before we kind of go into why I decided to run, early election is next week, early voting, should I say. Let's do a quick little introduction. By chance, nobody's ever heard of Mr. Frank Sossamon.
Okay. I have been living in this area since 1985 when I came to pastor the South Henderson Pentecostal Holiness Church. And I pastored there almost 37 years, retired last Easter Sunday, 2021, and I did that because I was of the age to do it, and I also did it so I could be with my son at our funeral home and continue to work to help expand the footprint, offer services to the families in grief resources and grief counseling, and many other services that a lot of funeral homes don't provide. We wanted to be on the cutting edge of those services. So, and I started the chaplain program at Mariah Perham in 1989, and I'm still serving as the director of that program. And I serve in a whole lot of capacities. I'm the chairman of Granville County Crime Stoppers, and I've been doing that for about 8 years. And I lived in Vance County until just recently. We built a house in Granville County and moved in that house in March of this year, 2022. And glad to be a resident of Granville County and glad to be running for office. As you mentioned, it's District 32, which has been changed. It covers now Vance County, and it covers Granville County with the exception of 3 precincts. And then I have to really clarify that. It's Mount Energy, Wilton, and Creedmoor. But Creedmoor and Mount Energy has some of 7, District 7, which Matt Winslow is a representative, and that's Franklin County, and it has some of 32 in it. But
Wow.
To tell you exactly where the lines are drawn, it's pretty tough. I think maybe the more we get used to it, the more we'll be able to have some understanding. The thing I tell people that live in those precincts, when you get to the precinct and you tell them your address, they will give you your ballot. When you get that ballot, you'll know what district you fall in, if it's 7 or 32. Or you can go online now, and you can download your ballot and look at it, and then you'll know too.
And that's a great point, because a lot of times you start drawing the new line, you start the new map, and it's like, what does all this mean? I mean, so that's a great point. I'm glad you were able to kind of give somewhat of a direction for this, so thank you for that. Yeah. Again, Frank Sossamon joins us. He is candidate for District 32 for NC House of Representatives. So, of course, this is our second time having you a part of our Decision 2022. Give some insight on really why local residents of Vance, Granville should be able to vote for Frank Sossamon.
Well, I have a steady and long record of community engagement and community involvement. Not as a paid person. I was paid as a pastor, but not obligated by being a pastor to do anything in the community other than whatever my church expected of me. But I have always felt that pastors should be a strong part of the community and their voice should be heard. So I have served over the years in a variety of capacities. As I mentioned, chaplaincy at Mariah Perham, I started the program in '89. There was no chaplain program there, and I started it with the support of the board of directors. And again, I've been serving in that capacity ever since. I'm a volunteer, but I'm still a part of the staff there. I serve as on the Juvenile Crime Prevention Council, and I've done that since '85. I served on the Henderson Vance Crime Stoppers Board, and then I became the president, and I served in that capacity over 10 years as a president. But I was a charter member of the Henderson Vance Crime Stoppers. I served as chaplain of the hospital. I served on the ethics committee and on the rehab advisory council, and I've been the chaplain of the Northern Vance high school football team when it was Northern Vance, and Lonnie Davis was the coach, and I would come out and do character building programs on their light practice on Thursday. I helped organize the Friday meals for the team. I mean, the list goes on and on and on of things of that nature that I've done through the years in the community. I coordinated the National Day of Prayer for Vance County, and it became a huge event where we started off with a breakfast with governmental leaders and pastors at 8 o'clock, and then at 12 noon we had simultaneous prayers in strategic locations, and then at 7 we did a prayer at a community prayer at that time it was called Southern Vance, and we did it in the stadium, and then we moved it into the gym, and WIZS aired that live, but the list goes on and on of my community involvement. I have been a part of the homeless effort in the county. I served on the youth curfew. I was a chairman of that task force in the city of Henderson, putting together something that would help us manage our youth. And so anyway, there's just been one thing after another. So I'm not just running for office and now I'm going to get involved in the community. I've been invested in the community for almost 38 years, and will continue to be invested in the community. And I have ideas. I mean, I've worked with local government on a variety of projects over the years, and I've been a part of understanding the ins and outs of the needs of the area. So I really felt strongly that District 32 needed a voice in Raleigh, and also they needed someone to help hear them, because there's so many entities in the district. You got the farmer, the educator, you have the law enforcement, you have judicial, you have John Q. Public. I mean, the list goes on and on of the entities of the district, and you need to be hearing from those entities so you can represent them at Raleigh. And if there's legislation that needs to be drawn up and passed, then I'm hearing firsthand from the people because I'm circulating. And so I just think that I want to and I will represent and be a voice for the community, because I feel like that voice has been lacking, and there's a lot of things that we could have gotten and received and things that we can do. So that's the reason I'm running.
So again, Frank Sossamon joins us here for District 32, state representative candidate from the NC House of Representatives. So the man of many hats, should you say? Of course, you were a pastor, the funeral home, a lot of community events, involvement. What kind of gives some insight with everything that you have done? And look, I didn't even know a lot of that stuff, which is hard. It's crazy that you're allowed to do all that stuff, or able to. So talk a little bit more about, with all that kind of put in a bubble, right? How would that lead you into making District 32 kind of stand out?
Well, I've already been working with law enforcement ever since I've been here through Crime Stoppers, working with them very closely. And so I already have a relationship there. So I can pretty much hit the ground running with law enforcement to work to address some of the crime issues, and to understand what they need from the state level. there's certain things that I have no control over on the local level. Those are local issues, but I can at least have a voice in those local issues. And I want to help us with resources. I want to help us with making sure that our law enforcement officers are paid adequate salaries and they're taken care of, and that we respect them, and that we are thankful that we have those public servants in our community looking after our best interest. And I want us to do some things to really address the crime issue so we can reduce crime in our area and become somewhat a model even across the state. Trey, District 32, 6 years ago, when Terry Garrison became the representative, it was the poorest district in the state. 6 years later, it's still the poorest district in the state. I want to change that. I want to change that. I want to work with economic development, and I've again worked with the chamber and other businesses, and I'm not. And we have a business, and we have vested interest in making sure business is taken care of, and that again we work also on workforce development, because you can have all kinds of jobs, but if you don't have people that are going to fill those positions, then it won't be long. Those companies will be moving out of your district and they'll move somewhere else. So we got to. There's a lot of things we got to work on, and we got to take it a piece at a time. But I feel like because of my relationship with people in the community, the political community, law enforcement community, I've been in and out of education in the local school. So I'm not a stranger. So I already have a relationship with them and conversation with them. And I look forward to sitting down to address their needs and their concerns. School safety is a major issue for me. I want us to make sure that our kids feel safe at school. Parents feel good about their child going to school, knowing they're going to be all right. I want them to finish and graduate. So there's multiple things that I am planning on working aggressively on to make sure that District 32 stands out in the state, and in time, no longer is it the poorest district, and no longer is it a district that people wonder, well, why would you move to that district? They understand why you'd move to that district.
So I want to ask you, and I'm not sure you've ever been asked this before, right? And because it's not a hard question, but I'm not sure you've been asked. So with everything that you have done, again, you've been so involved with the community. Why run for office? Why be the spotlight for example, for Vance and Granville counties for District 32? Why be the spotlight? Why kind of get out in front and kind of get that backlash or get that, up front, whatever it is? Why do it?
Well, I'm doing it because I think from that state level position, I'll be able to do more to help than I was before in the capacity that I served before. So I really believe that being at the state level, then will be that voice that can make appeals for money when money's available, money to come into the district, to help on projects, to help us get over the hump. When some projects are close to being kicked off, but we don't have quite the amount of money we need, that I can bring something home to the district, that project can not be 10 years down the road. We can go ahead and get that project completed now. So I really believe, Trey, that it's when you climb a tree, the higher you get in that tree, the greater your vision is and your view is. And I know the higher you get in that tree, the greater the shock you are for somebody that wants to shoot you out of that tree. I understand that. And I understand that everybody's not going to love Frank Sossamon, and everybody won't agree with Frank Sossamon. I understand that. And I'm a big boy. I can take that. But I want them to always remember I am going to do what I feel like is the very best for the people of District 32. I'm a part of a party. I'm not married to my party. If my party asks me to do something that's not the best for my people, I'm going to stick with the people. And I'm going to stick with the people even if that causes me grief in my party. I'm going to do that because I think that's why I'm elected. I'm elected to serve the people. And I've served the people as a pastor. I've served people as a community servant. So that's not foreign to me.
Frank Sossamon joins us here by way of our in-studio video Decision 2022, part of our Local Talk program. If you missed this program, you can head back to our website at nextdoorradio.com, go into the program and recordings. Everything that we've done, part of our Decision 2022, is right there. So last couple minutes, Mr. Frank Sossamon, of really the last 2 minutes, should you say, the floor it's open. Anything that we haven't discussed that's on your mind that you've been asked that we haven't discussed today, but the floor is open for you, Mr. Frank.
Well, I would just encourage the people of District 32 to research the candidate that I'm running against, Terry Garrison. And his record speaks for itself. He ran on a platform of education. You can look at his record, it's public. And he had an opportunity to give teachers a raise and community college staff a raise, and he voted no. Now, the bill still passed, and it passed with Democrats and Republicans voting for it. But it didn't pass because he voted for it. He voted against it. Cybersecurity, again, is another one of those things that he talks about supporting, but there's a record that Terry voted against cybersecurity that was going to give millions of dollars over time, over the years, to developing cybersecurity and strengthening cybersecurity, which we desperately need. Economic development was another one of his platforms, and it's my platform. But he had a chance to bring over 2,000 jobs to Granville County when the Health and Human Services Department from Raleigh was moving to Granville County. That would have not only brought over 2,000, I heard 2,500 as a number too, by one of the individuals that served on the town commission of Oxford. It would have brought additional jobs from those support entities that come when a major group like that comes to town. And he voted no. He voted no for it because that's what his party told him to do. He voted on party lines rather than voting with the people. And that no vote cost this district not hundreds, not thousands, not millions, but billions of dollars, because that would have been a long-term investment into the district that would have helped not only Granville County, it would have helped Vance County. So look at the record, and if you want somebody to represent you, you vote for Frank Sossamon because I'll be your representative. That's the reason I'm running, and I just hope and pray that you will do the right thing and give me an opportunity. You've given him 6 years, and you can look at his record to see what he's done. Give me an opportunity, and I'll work myself to death to produce positive things for District 32. Because I believe in the district. I believe in the people. I believe in this area. This area's got too much to offer and too much going for it for us not to pull ourselves together and have a strategic plan that will bring industry, that will bring wealth, good paying jobs, that will bring peace and civility, that will bring all the things that everybody wants in their neighborhood. It will be like a Mr. Rogers' neighborhood.
Yeah. There you go,
Yeah.
Mr. Frank Sossamon. Thank you so much, Frank. God bless you. This has been a lot of fun. Where can our listeners find some more information about you? How can they get a hold of you?
Well, they can look at frankfornc.com and on my website. They can also go to, I have a Facebook page they can go to. They can, if they want some yard signs or any other material, I have that available. You can call me at 252-432-1469. You can stop by the funeral home. I'm in and out of there, but you can stop by the funeral home, and I'll be glad to do whatever I can to answer your questions or assist you in any way.
Mr. Frank Sossamon, he is for NC House of Representatives for District 32. My friend, Good luck the rest of the way. Early voting is coming up here next Thursday, October 20th. Good luck the rest of the way. God bless you, okay?
Thank you so much, and thank y'all for listening.
Absolutely. Again, until next time, my name is Trace Knight. This is Local Talk, special edition of Decision 2022. He is Frank Sossamon for District 32 State Representative Candidate. Until next time, God bless. We'll see you later.